We've all been hypnotised by the usual AliExpress heavyweights from the likes of San Martin and Baltany. But what about those left field weirdos and misfits? Can you still dig up a gem, or at least a beautifully chaotic mess that everyone else has sidestepped? Let's find out. But a quick disclaimer, I do not endorse any of the watches in the following list, but the links are in the description, so buyer beware, purchase at your own risk. Rumour has it, when Hans Wilsdorf was frantically scribbling down names for his shiny new watch brand, he was torn between two options: Rolex and Daggeraxe. Sadly, like a dagger and an axe through the heart of horology, he went with Rolex. But in a tragic oversight, no one thought to trademark Daggeraxe, which brings us, somehow, to this. Behold, a GMT watch that looked like it time-travelled here from the 1950s via a slightly dodgy molecular breaking portal. It's got all the original 6542 GMT Master-ish vibes, a Bakelite-ish bezel, patina-ish hands, and a vintage-ish dial, complete with Swiss-ish markings no less. All very ish, all very weird, but somehow intriguing. Technically, it's a 39mm NH34 GMT stainless steel case, sapphire crystal, screw-down crowning caseback and 100 metres of water resistance classic. All the usual markings of an AliExpress success story, yes, but I imagine someone in the factory asked how much patina should we use, and the answer was simply yes. Is it weird? Yes. Is it interesting? Also yes. But at £220, it's not so much a watch purchase as an archaeological experiment. One that most sane people would probably avoid. But come on, who doesn't want to walk around with a Daggeraxe on their wrist? Now, I'm not one to shy away from putting my money where my mouth is, so I'll make a deal with you. 1 million likes on this video and I'll buy one and review it on the channel. There's a special kind of panic that hits when I'm faced with a Chinese watch brand. Not because of the watches, because I know I'm about to butcher the name in front of 100 comment section pronunciation experts. So I did the sensible thing, asked my colleague in China, and what he sent back sounded like a linguistic booby trap, so I gave up instantly, accepted my fate as a clueless northern Englishman, and decided to just pronounce it however it came out of my mouth. So here goes. How so? Definitely wrong, committed no less. So, why so is the how so on the list? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Those dials, hand lacquered, up to 2 months of painstaking brush-wielding madness poured into each one, and the result? A totally hand-finished, totally unique dial on every single watch. Basically wearable art, but without the pretentious gallery lighting and awkward small talk. Now so, how so has cranked out a few different flavours over time. And yes, that's the last so-based pun. I hate me too. From Grand Seiko adjacent GMTs to full-on vintage cosplay with Breguet hands and enough period charm to qualify as a museum piece. But this one, the HS007C, is the one I keep coming back to. It's the quiet one in the corner, letting the lacquer dial do all the heavy lifting while the rest of the watch keeps its mouth firmly shut. Specs-wise, no surprises here. 39mm stainless steel case, sapphire sandwich front and back, NH35 movement, 50 metres water resistance and a rather handsome cowhide strap to tie it all together. And the price? Around £290. So no, not exactly pocket change, but when you consider the dial was basically slow cooked to perfection over 8 weeks, it starts to sound, dare I say, reasonable. Well, on paper, anyway. When Christopher Ward dropped the bel canto, watch nerds lost their collective minds. A chiming complication for under £4,000, madness. Glorious, affordable madness. But some of us, the jaded cynics about us, sat back, arms crossed, muttering, wait for it, China. And the inevitable wait bore fruit. Meet the striking watch by Lucky Harvey. Yes, Lucky Harvey. which sounds like your mate who pulls during breakfast at Weatherspoons despite smelling of links and last night's kebab, then a watch brand. But push past the name and you've got something wild. A limited edition integrated bracelet sports watch with a mechanical chiming alarm, big date, high beat movement, guilloche dial, sapphire, steel, the whole shebang. Specs wise, it whispers £4,000 Swiss darling, but the price, just £1,000. Why? Because the name Lucky Harvey knocks about £3,000 off the retail value purely through branding-induced shame. Sure, dropping £1,000 on AliExpress might qualify you for some kind of clinical trial, but if they just slap that chiming hammer and fork on the front of the dial, I'd be halfway through justifying the purchase as art. Ah yes, Agelosa, a name that sounds like a pharmaceutical side effect, but somehow keeps dropping watches that make you go, wait, that actually looks kinda cool. And the Universal Time World Timer is no different. A watch that's so unnecessarily complicated, it loops back around to being brilliant. At first glance, the dial looks like Agelosa borrowed the United Nations logo, added a few circles and decided, yep, that's a watch now. There's rings within rings, a world map at the centre, and enough city names to start your own geopolitical crisis. It's less timepiece, more passport stamp collection. But somehow, beneath all the diplomatic clutter, it actually functions. A proper world timer that tells you the time in 24 zones without needing a translator or a ceasefire agreement. Inside you've got Agelosa's in-house movement. Yes, really. A whopping 80 hours power reserve and some pretty slick finishing. A 42mm case that's both modern in design but also tips its hat to the 1930s Art Deco movement, a fitting tribute to the birth of the world timer. It has the usual sapphire crystal and 50 metres water resistance. Not a dive watch, but if you're finding yourself underwater whilst globetrotting via the world's top 20 busiest airports, then water ingression into the watch is the least of your problems. And the price? Around £400, give or take, which, for a mechanical world timer with actual originality, is either a bargain or a stylish way to lose track of time in 24 different places at once. So you're in the market for a new Omega, but can't decide between a Speedmaster and a Seamaster 300, so opt for both. But then you remember you only have a £120 budget, and try as you might, you can't seem to find either watch on a deal that works for you, even in the used market. Bloody inflation. But have no fear, China's got your back. Or more specifically, Hambra has the answer to the question no one asked. What if we Frankensteined a Speedy and a Seamaster, then made it weird? On the face of it, it should be a recipe for success. Take the best bits from the Seamaster, the best bits from the Speedy, throw in a white dial with blue accents, a mechanical chronograph movement, a 42mm case, sapphire crystal, and call it the Space Series, complete with an astronaut on the display case back. And you have a flawed, but somehow fascinating little thing. A hot mess, if you please. But then, 50 metres water resistance, with a dive bezel. But not to worry, 50 metres will be okay for a dip in a shallow pool, right? Right? Well, Hambra have other ideas. Remember that steel case? Well, it's made from 304 stainless steel, which is similar to 316L stainless steel, except for one thing. Its lack of corrosion protection against chlorine. So a swing and a miss for Hambra this time, but a hot mess no less. And I'm still getting strong, I can fix her energy. If a vintage military field watch and a Bauhaus design student had an identity crisis together, you'd end up with a Phantom Field Watch. It's the kind of piece that looks just as confused as you'll feel wearing it, torn between storming a beachhead and sitting quietly next to a copy of Form Follows Function. Supposedly made by Heimdallr, though confirming that is like trying to get a straight answer from a forum thread titled, "Is this legit?" All the signs point to them, but maybe it's the work of a secret society of Bauhaus ghosts with a military history fetish. Specs? What can I say? Stainless steel case, acrylic crystal, NATO strap. It's not offensive, not exciting, but that dial and those hands, just weird enough to keep you glancing at your wrist like you're not sure whether you love it or hate it. Water resistance is 30 metres, which means it's more suited to shelf life than trench warfare. And inside, the ZSH SS7, a Chinese hand-wound movement that's about as refined as a tractor in a tuxedo. It ticks at 21,600 vibrations per hour and shows up looking like it's already fought in 3 wars and lost every one of them. And Phantom, they appear proud of that, even including glamour shots of its factory-fresh scars. It's not precise, it's not necessary, but for 40 quid, it's a wonderfully bizarre risk, and sometimes that's more fun than playing it safe. Ah yes, the tourbillon, that whirling gravity-defying flex originally designed for pocket watches, but now mostly just a horological peacock move. Once the plaything of billionaires and cockney gangsters, it's got scooped up by the Chinese, mass-produced and shoved into watches costing less than a bag of sand. And now, brace yourselves, we're talking sub-£300 tourbillon, courtesy of our favourite spicy corner of the internet, AliExpress, and the brand Aesop. Not the Greek storyteller, though the plot twist is wild. No more grandpa spec 18th century design either. Aesop has gone full cyberpunk, skeletonized chassis dial, 42mm stainless steel case, sapphire on top, and vibes for days. Reliable, serviceable, that 3-year warranty? Not sure. Answers on a warranty card, please. But come on, for under 300 quid, it's basically haute horology half-inched by some dodgy scrote, and I'm all here for it. You've probably seen these Constantine shaking Joker rip-offs floating around AliExpress, usually sandwiched between a fake G-Shock and something claiming to be a tourbillon for £8. And like me, you probably scrolled right past them, muttering something snobbish about novelty watches not being your thing, especially novelty knockoffs. But at 15 quid, maybe it's time to stop pretending we're all too serious and sophisticated and admit that a little dumb fun wouldn't kill us. Also, let's be honest, I'm not affording a real shaking anytime soon. And even if I could, I'd probably blow that cash on 5 Seikos, a Zin, and a reckless weekend in Tokyo. So, what does your 15 quid get you? An alloy case of uncertain origin, possibly mined from old shopping trolleys, mineral glass, 30 metres of don't even think about swimming water resistance, a Miyota quartz movement, and a silicon strap that probably still retains its moulding marks. It's not a spec monster. Hell, it's not even a spec munchkin. But what you do get is a googly-eyed conversation grenade that'll detonate smiles, stares, and probably a few questions about your mental stability. And frankly, that's a better return on investment than 90% of microbrands promising heritage DNA and delivering mild disappointment. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed my weird take on weird watches, then please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.